Oh. Oh, Orc in defense. Okay, or derelict defense. Alright. Sounds good. Let's just real quick hop up on some energy real quick. We'll just accelerate up. Get that accelerant, get those effects coming on by, and roll on fire. And I guess it's that time, guys. Let's just get to sleep. There we go. Get my pillow, get my blanket, and we're good. I'll put you guys when the round is over. See you in a second. Someone could give me energy pizzas, that would be nice. I'm gonna go. Alright. See you guys. DE. DE? DE as my phone number? Ember is being reworked?
I would consider what I've learned from the skirmish.
Guys, Ember's getting a nerf. Ember's being nerfed. Ember's being nerfed. It specifically says reworked. It's gotta be a nerf. It has to be. Rework equals nerf. Isn't it obvious? Every time there's a rework, somebody's getting nerfed. What the hell? Goodbye, Ember. Rest in peace. It was nice while it lasted. No, but for real, guys. For real. Tell us all the garbage aside. Let's talk. Let's talk a little bit. Take that blanket off. Let's not really World on Fire right now. We might have to get used to not being so reliant on World on Fire, guys. But in all reality, we need to talk. We need to talk real quick. So recently, we found out that quite a few different frames are going to be seeing reworks of some sort, or buffs, nerfs, whatever. You're gonna see some changes. So, Ember.
For the Tenno!
Apparently, Ember is going to see a change to her World on Fire, where when World on Fire is activated, about 10 seconds in, you will see, and there may be like mods that can kind of alter this. About 10 seconds in, you will see your range for your World on Fire come in to about half, and at the same time, you will double your energy output. So, you see what I'm doing here right now? You see what I'm doing here right now? It's not going to, it's not really going to be the way to do things anymore. So, with that said, what do we... Well, first off, this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a nerf. Some people are saying it's a side grade. Some people are straight out calling it a nerf. I don't know if anyone's calling it a buff. The one thing that we do know is Team Buff is Ember's World on Fire damage output. After those 10 seconds, I believe they said that her damage output will actually increase. I don't know if it would be doubled, seeing as her energy is going to be doubled, but it's something we need to kind of consider. So, first off, here's some things that we need to think about. First off, is Ember is fairly squishy at this point in time, especially when we get to high levels, you know, like endgame content. She doesn't survive as long. At the same time, she also can't do enough damage to warrant running World on Fire all the time. But at that point, that makes her useless. If she's squishy and she can't run her ultimate, you really have Fire Blast, which, to be honest, Fire Blast is not all that great. I don't want to say it's useless, but I mean, when you compare it to the way World on Fire is right now, Fire Blast is nothing, you know, to write home about. But Accelerant. Accelerant is pretty good. Accelerant, you know, amplifies all of your fire damage, which is great for World on Fire. But at the same time, in order to really take advantage of it, you better put on some weapons that can help with your fire. Maybe you have some allies that could benefit from it. Right? Because doesn't Accelerant also increase allies? Anyways, maybe that's. But it does cause some issues for your enemies.
Reinforcements
let's just
available.
run real quick.
Do you choose
A
to
couple
leave
more,
now
couple
or
more
continue
waves
fighting?
so we can talk about this. But
Keep fighting. Another
Accelerant gives a
opportunity
little
to
bit of a
extract will appear
stun
soon.
type effect for your enemies. And because of that, it can allow for, let's say, a well-placed sniper shot, which, if you want to run your Ember with a sniper, that's actually fairly viable. You could run a Accelerant sniper build. You could maybe get a shotgun, run her with a shotgun or something like that. That would work out too. If you can keep Accelerant getting a shot out there and stunning some enemies, it's a great way to go. Currently, my build is based around, I was trying to see how well the Prism of Zapata would be on her. I run that with Fire Element on it. Depending on who I fight against, I would pair that with a dual stat and change things from there. But basically, at this point in time, Ember is alright mid-tier in, let's say, loot runs. You're running for some loot, void missions, maybe defense for a few waves, or mobile defenses, survivals kind of for a little while, but she ends up falling off, like I said, after a little while. So what can we do to change that? Now, first off, I want everyone to remember, and hopefully DE has this in mind as they're changing her, is we are seeing damage 2.5 or 2 point whatever change some elemental stuff in the future. Obviously, they're focusing on doing puncture, slash, and impact right now, but they're also changing the way status works. Now, that would be awesome if DE could somehow implement that system to Ember, and actually, even if her energy increases or and her range decreases, I don't think they're gonna get it to the point where World on Fire one-shot stuff, because that's just, you know, too easy. But I would love to see there be some synergy with Accelerant, with maybe Fireball. If there's something we could do to Fireball, or maybe we just get rid of Fireball in general and change it to something else. I would love to see some synergy work with Ember, where even though her World on Fire is seeing a nerf, maybe it could actually be buffed as long as we're utilizing it with something else. Now, keep in mind, we also don't want it to consume our energy in seconds, so that's something we have to consider. Like I said, maybe the elemental fixes, the status fixes in the future, will play a role in how Ember comes back into the light. No pun intended. But I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think. Maybe if we could find a way to increase her survivability. Maybe if she could have some damage reduction. I would love to see some damage reduction with her. Maybe I don't wanna straight copy another power from another frame, but think about the way Zephyr works and her turbulence. If we could get, like, instead of like a tornado type effect flying up and around Zephyr, maybe Ember could see something similar where she has almost this not fire armor, but maybe like this inferno that kind of like surrounds her, something so that maybe it would strip status effects. Maybe any weapon or anything that fires through that ability, or that ability, would have its status effect stripped. So Ember would no longer be able to be vulnerable to poisons or slash damage or whatever. Maybe that would help her survivability a little bit. Now, I know that's not as good as just 100% or, you know, having a specific damage reduction number, but it's a start. It's a start. What do you guys think? What do you think could be done to Ember to make her obviously a nerf is a rework of some sort is incoming. So if we could be constructive and we could think of a way to keep her, you know, keep her useful, keep her from falling from glory, I would love to hear it, because I would be more than happy to talk to DE about it. I know a lot of people are talking to their digital streams about it. If you want to create a Reddit post or forum, go in the forums or anything about that, about Ember, be constructive. No one wants to hear, and I know I personally, you know, don't want to hear people being completely negative. Be constructive, offer some ideas, and maybe they'll consider it. We'll see what happens.
Extraction
We'll
is
see what
ready.
happens. And
Unless you can
just in
handle
case you were
more of
wondering,
the
no,
enemy.
DE did not actually text me. So I'm gonna extract. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. I would love to hear your feedback on this because honestly, I love Ember. I love Ember, and I am nervous for what this rework has in store for us. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But until then, blow.